guys, welcome back to a channel update. It's a long time since I did one of these, but I thought I'd better do a bit of an update, seeing as I have been rather missing from my channel for a bit of a time. I've had a combination of, a chaotic private life and a substantial amount of minor illnesses, which I'm going to detail at the end of this video, because not everybody wants to hear about my private life and my certain issues. So first of all, let me say a very warm welcome to this channel to my new subscribers. Thank you very, very much for subscribing to me. Welcome aboard. Huge thank you to my long-standing subscribers. There are people who have been with me since I first started YouTubing and are still followers today. And it's absolutely wonderful that, these friendships have grown over the years. So thank you very much. To everyone who makes comments, I love comments. And they are one of the joys of being a YouTuber, is that you always wonder who listens to your channel. And comments are just fantastic. So thank you very, very much to anyone who's left a comment. I try to answer all comments. And I thought I'd just give you a quick rundown of what's happening in the future. Let me start with this particular world I'm in at the moment, which is a realm called Tree 8. This is an almost vanilla realm. We've done a little bit of modding, like one sleep, all sleep, and we've added a few blocks we wanted, which I think are going to come out in vanilla anyway. But nonetheless, it's nice to be back on here again. This is the world I have neglected most when I'm ill, because this is a multi-person server. And when I'm ill, I tend to hibernate slightly, and I really don't want to have to interact with anybody. So in this series, what I need to do is to catch up with what's going on. So I am going to do the next few videos, which will be me visiting different builds. I know which builds not to visit, and seeing different people and what they've been doing, and just basically catching myself up on this very vibrant server that has such a lot of great builds on it now. So expect to see server tours before I start building. The next Minecraft series is the one I'm running with BU4U, also known as Yanni. We are just at the beginning of that series, and she and I are going to learn the aquatic update together. When I'm on a server like this, guys, I am insanely spoiled. I'm with a lot of very, very good YouTubers and very, very good Minecraft players. And I tend to find I'm with people where I'm still sort of trying to find iron armor. They're delivering shulker boxes to my doorstep. And it's really that sort of server. The guys on here are so experienced at Minecraft. But to learn it from scratch with Yanni forces me to do everything from scratch, to really learn to do things, to find out everything about the new aquatic update. I know a bit already, but the two of us are going to have a great time doing that. So that series is going to continue. This series on Tree 8 will continue as long as people want to build on this realm. Now, the next series is Banished North 6.2. I've had some astonishing problems with the map. I think I mistook valleys for flat plains and ended up with a sort of map I wouldn't normally touch with a barge pole. However, never want to resist a challenge. I have been soldiering on, and I'm actually beginning to quite enjoy the fact that I'm making it work. I'm also learning more and more about the North 6. Now, there are two new mods coming out. One is going to be Banished North 7, and the other, I believe, is a new edition of Colonial Charter. And it's going to be a difficult decision which of those to play, or whether I should indeed try and play both at the same time. I can imagine that leading to utter confusion. But either of those I am delighted to play. So I'm very much hoping that those will come out shortly. In the meantime, I shall probably keep going with the North 6.2 map to see how large I can get my builds on what is quite difficult terrain. Now, the other game I have been playing for quite some time now is a new game called Vintage Story. It is based on TFC, Minecraft TFC, but it's a game that's been built by the developers Tyron and Sarity from scratch. It's a very, very beautiful game, and it's developing in a very interesting manner. They are trying to develop it to the point where it's on parity with the TFC, which was Terra Firma Craft. But I think that it's actually beginning to diverge from it in a very, very interesting manner. So I have been playing that one quite a bit and enjoying it. The other thing is, it's absolutely fascinating watching how these people are building a game. I'm on 3 Discords. I'm on a Discord that started up with Banished, and we are talking, guys, about doing a new Banished challenge, so look out for that one. My great friend One Last Midnight organises that. I'm on a Discord for this group here, Tree 8, who are essentially my Minecraft family. And I'm also on a Discord with the Vintage Story developers, modders, and people like myself who basically just play the game, and lots of YouTubers I've met through that. It's one of the Discords that I find most interesting because they're talking about game development all the time, but also these guys are at a level of computer knowledge on hardware, software, and particularly game development and coding that I haven't seen before. I mean, some of the discussions on the Discord, I sort of read it and I haven't a clue what they're even talking about. I don't think they can believe I have so little knowledge of tech and computer games, but those of you who know me well know that I've only ever bought 7 computer games in my life, and my knowledge of tech is bizarrely naive, and I've only been playing on Microsoft for just over 2 years, so I've learned it from scratch in that time, plus all the recording side. But I wondered whether I should stay with them. But in fact, one of the developers was incredibly kind and said, no. In fact, several of them have said, no, you're the person we need. Because the one thing you should never have in a whole group of developers are people who are familiar with the game, who develop the game, who are familiar with the tech. And they said that having someone like myself who is, naive isn't the word, but uneducated on the tech side is extremely helpful to them. So I'm very happily ensconced in that Discord as well. So that's what's going on this channel. I will be still doing the occasional talk and build. The last one I did, thank you Audrey, was a video on some tips for starting out as a YouTuber. That was very, very well received. So thanks guys for your support on that. And of course I will keep doing channel updates when things change. So guys, basically I'm running 2 Minecraft series, both of them mostly vanilla, and they're both on Realms. I'm carrying on with Banished, and I'll take a decision whether to do Colonial Charter or North 7, depending on which comes out first. And I am continuing with Vintage Story as much as I can. So, basically I am very enthusiastic about my channel, but it's been a bit of a nightmare with what's been going on. Now, for those of you who are only interested in updates on the channel, I'm just going to go on now and to outline a little bit about what's been happening in my private life. I don't have many health problems. I'm extremely lucky, especially in comparison to a lot of people who do play computer games. So when I say I've not been well, these are very minor things, but I had a chapter of accidents. We have someone in our family who's just had a baby, and that couple both got pneumonia, and the baby had jaundice. So talk about all hands to the pump. And I was going across there sleeping on the sofa, and I was so tired one morning, having done the shift from sort of 3 o'clock onwards to about 9 o'clock, that when I went to gather up some stuff from the laundry baskets, I managed to walk into a plate glass door. So when I walked into the plate glass door, I banged all the left-hand side of my head, and I managed to knock my reading glasses, which are these very snazzy little metal ones, into the side of my cheek and took a chunk out of it. So I was unable to record for some days while I recovered from that, because I was very shaken and obviously had to be carted off home. Then I got a stinking cold. That's what we say in England, a stinking cold. It's when you're literally dripping, which is no condition in which to record either. Then I went back to help out again, sleeping on the sofa, woke up in the morning, and believe me, the world span. And everything was just going round and round. I was so dizzy. Again, carted off home. Unable to help any further, and had an emergency appointment with a doctor who sort of put me on a couch and put my head down, and her room started revolving, and then she said to me to sit up. I've never felt anything like it. Everything just went completely haywire, round in circles. Fortunately, her bed was against a wall. I was actually spread-eagled against a wall, trying to hang on to it for stability. The upshot was she sent me to a specialist who said that when I'd banged into the plate glass door, I had knocked something loose in my left ear, and that was what was causing dizziness, and it would resolve, and it did in fact resolve, but it was 3 days again out that I started coughing. Now, a friend of mine in Chicago, Zardas, who is a very brilliant YouTuber, if you guys want to see how city skylines can be played, that's your man. He's the one that got me into recording Stardew Valley. And he had this terrible coughing bug and was out for some time. And a great friend of mine, Winnie, who plays on this server with me and is from New Zealand, told me that there was a huge coughing bug going around there. So I think this thing is worldwide. But believe me, I've been out for weeks with this. So guys, I'm just about getting back to norm. And you can probably tell from my voice that I'm feeling better, because the one thing you cannot hide through your voice is how you're feeling. And I think it's one of the things us YouTubers have to be very careful of, that when we do record, if you're sad or miserable or depressed, or you don't know what to do in the video, or you're just feeling unwell, my goodness, it comes out in your voice. Anyway, guys, that's today's channel update, not upright. I was going to say I'm glad I'm upright again, which is an absolute miracle given where I was. I'm going to try to upload this and get it out later today. So I very much hope that you all have a very, very good All Hallows Eve tomorrow night. No, Wednesday night. Bye-bye.